Skin is a pure gem.
Hi. Hello, everybody. Greetings. Come on in. Put the music right back where it was. That was good. We are listening to Capital G. It's called Black Women. We do not own the rights to this music, but this amazing song, we found him on YouTube. Actually, I found him on Instagram doing a reel. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. And so, in honor of International Coco Mom Day, which is coming this Saturday, May 22nd, we thought it appropriate to share. Yeah. Black women. Start your watch parties and invite folks to join. Greetings, everybody. We are so excited to be with you here today. We're having another amazing conversation, so we're super excited. So excited. Today we have an amazing woman on who's going to talk to us about balancing being a mom boss. Okay, but before we get into that, I am Alexia, your Coco Mom Evolve. So excited to see you all, and let me kick it over to my co-host for this evening.
Hey everyone, it's Elle, your proud Coco Mom.
Yes, proud Coco Mom. So Elle, real quick before we get into it, how excited are you about International Coco Mom Day?
Listen, I got 4 outfits on the way, okay? And you know something? I'm feeling like depending on the be, y'all might get a little taste of every second on every side.
Listen, let's go Skittles on them, right? All the
I'm
rainbow.
So excited. And how dope is it that made it a thing? Like, y'all Google it. Like, literally, Lexi was like, Google it. I Googled it. It's a thing. Like, Google says that the 22nd is International Coco Mom Day. How dope is that?
Listen, and you know what else you will see now, to Elle's point, if you Google it, let me see. You will see what she said about International Coco Mom Day, right? You'll also see Market Watch actually posted about International Coco Mom Day.
That's
okay, so when you Google it, you will see a lot of information about International Coco Mom Day. We are super excited, and we want you to go and register. Go to cocolife.black/events. Okay, and you will be able to register how you are going to celebrate International Coco Mom Day. Because guess what? You can celebrate it however you want. In Philly, we're doing a little photo shoot, but we have our Coco Moms in Texas who register, who is making dinner for their family. We have some Coco Moms down in North Carolina who have registered that they're hanging out with friends. We have Coco Moms over in the UK, okay, who have registered.
International Coco Moms.
International. Say it again, Elle. It's what?
International.
International. That's right. It is International Coco Mom Day. And so because we love ourselves, right? It starts with self-love. Because we love ourselves and because we care about all the work that we want to do is why we're also having this conversation today with an amazing woman. I'm going to turn it over to Elle to read her quick bio, and then we are going to bring her on to get this party started.
Yes. So it's Eletta Cameron. She's a licensed social worker, and she's a native of Uniontown, PA, and a graduate of California University and West Virginia University with a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology and a Master in Social Work and Direct Practice, respectively. She is the owner of Cameron Consulting Services, LLC. As an entrepreneur and a mental health and wellness clinician, Eletta specializes in counseling services specifically targeted to individuals typically reluctant to pursue traditional mental health and wellness services.
And let's welcome to the stage. Hey.
Hi.
Hey, girl.
So
Hey.
nice and soothing.
Hey.
Like a yoga instructor too. She's like, hi.
Right.
Like, hi. Hey, girl. Hey. How are you all?
Oh, this is so awesome.
Thanks for having me.
First off, let me shout out California University of Pennsylvania.
Cal
Oh,
you.
I know you was like, California of where? Stop.
I just
Don't do that. We got a whole university, okay?
A whole
University.
university.
You, Eletta, let me ask you this question, because I know, like, when Anika and I went there, that's where I met Anika. So
Okay.
when we went there, when we would tell people where we went, we would always have to say it like really fast, so people, because they would get stuck at Cal, so we'd be like California University, like, oh, like up here, up here.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I,
People would always say, what part of California? I'm like, Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
There's a California in Pennsylvania. Right next to Brownsville, Coal Center, all of those PA places. Absolutely.
that is so awesome. We are
For sure.
so excited to
Thank
have you
you.
on. It has been such an amazing experience just watching you to kind of grow and evolve through your direct practice, through the whole process of becoming licensed, and just your whole experience. And so I know we
Yes.
read the bio, but no, nothing sells it more like you. So just share with us about kind of like what got you into social work, like why social work, because that is a tough field.
Social work is a tough field, but I think that, social work chose me. I think that it was something that I've always done. Like, even as a young person, a lot of times friends would come to me and ask for advice. And honestly, I was often given the advice that my mother was giving me, that the elder Coco mom was handing out, right? But it seemed to work. And, I held close to that. And I think that just as I continue to grow up and to learn things and to have my own experiences, and then to really understand mental health and what mental health was, and the fact that there weren't a lot of people of color really addressing it in an open way, I just thought, this is something that I really want to get into. And I realized that the field of social work was so broad. And when I had the opportunity to really delve into all of the different aspects, being able to see one was direct practice, I thought, wow, really being able to have a direct influence on people and working with them one on one. So I began like kind of dreaming in 1997 of having, a practice. And so I just drew it out on this board and just kind of worked towards that, worked towards that until, I opened up my business, and it went through a lot of names and all types of different things. But it is actually, it's come to fruition. So I'm excited about it, and having opportunities like these make it worth the while. So yeah, thank you.
Oh, yay, thank you. Now, could you, I know the LCSW, licensed clinical social worker. What is the ACSW, the initials beside your name? What does that one mean?
So it is the Accredited Council of Social Work. So it's the highest level that you can be accredited in on a council, so you can definitely get a terminal degree. You can get a PhD, but an MSW is a terminal degree in social work, but you can also get a PhD as well. But getting credentialed with a credentialing agency, that's the credentialing level. Yep.
You better
You better
So
go ahead. You better
you
go.
better you
thank you.
you let me
So
you
you
know
got to get
what?
people to vouch for you, right? You got to get
Yes.
people to vouch for you and trusting your skills and all of that. So there were people who did that for me. So I definitely got to continue to pay it forward and rise to that occasion for
You
sure.
know, one thing I want to lift up that you said, and so Elle, I know you know this front and back, especially in your line of work too as a nurse. There's certain professions that we pursue, right? And so they do require a certain level of education just to enter, and then
Hmm.
continuing education to continue and to stay. But then there's other places too where we take it to another level, like you said, because that shows the experience, the
Hmm.
expertise that you operate in. And let's just be honest, people tend to gravitate towards that.
Hmm.
People gravitate towards it. So as much as we, do appreciate and absolutely hold up that if your particular chosen profession does not require a degree, let's just say a 4-year degree, it requires something though. And so
Yeah.
that's the important piece that I want to lift up, is that you didn't just stop at, like you said, that you could have got your master's in social work because that is considered a terminal degree. But
Mm-hmm.
you decided that you wanted to keep pushing and pressing. And I'm sure that also led into what we're going to talk about today, as far as how you balance all of that with being a mom, because Eletta is a mom of two.
Two girls.
And a wife. Hey, wifey. Hey,
And a wife.
So, you know, all these different hats that you wear, it's just phenomenal that you saw so much value. And we just thank you for bringing your expertise to Coco Life.Black. So
thank you.
Before we jump into the formal stuff, and I'll let you get prepared to ask the first question. We're going to play this game called Could You Live Without? So Could You Live Without is a game that we have been playing with a lot of our guests, and we got to shout out and thank our sister podcast, The Legacy, for introducing it to us and the concept. And so we've been playing it as well. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you two choices. You have to pick one of the choices as one choice that you could live without. All right?
Okay.
All right, so here we go. First one. I'm going to start you off a little easy. Could you live without toothpaste or soap?
Oh, that's easy. Oh my goodness. Toothpaste, because I'll brush my teeth with soap.
Okay. I always love how they want to give the people here the explanation too. Let me justify.
You can't have your grill looking bad. I'm sorry.
You can't. Especially not when you're out there talking to people.
Exactly.
She said, I can brush my teeth with the soap.
I can brush my teeth with the soap. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Now I'm going to get a little into, you know, some options as it relates to footwear. Okay. So now this one has been known to cause, you know, a little tussling amongst us because we are divided in some cases.
Okay.
But could you live without heels or sneakers?
Heels.
Heels, yes, sneaker girl in the house. Okay.
Yeah, I would, if I could, I would rock a sneaker with a gown. So I would.
Let me tell you, bring your Tracy Ellis Ross.
I'm telling you, it's sneakers for me. Yeah, I love it. I love a sneaker. Yeah. Heels, I'm like, they're pretty, but I can't work a heel. You know, I admire anyone who can. Exactly. And real cute on other girls and other women, but Eletta cannot work a heel. So I'm just gonna be honest, you know.
And shout out, hey Verquan, hey LaShawna Austin. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's Alexia, your Coco Mom Evolved, and Elle and I are here with the Eletta Cameron, licensed clinical social worker and founder of her own private practice.
Yes.
And so we are having a conversation today, but first we're playing Could You Live Without? So you could play with us too. You could drop it in the chat if you want. So we're going to take it back a little, back to the 90s.
Okay.
Could you live without, well, a little bit back to the 90s. Could you live without living single or girlfriends?
Girlfriends, because I lived for living single.
I know, I like living single too. Okay, all right. Now this one is going to probably channel the social worker, health and wellness, and you know, like you said.
Okay.
Could you live without meditation or journaling?
Journaling.
Now I'm definitely interested. I mean, and I know journaling is important. So walk us through that choice. Why?
Because I write in my head. So a lot of what I write happens a lot in my head first. I rarely use pen and paper until I'm actually ready to compose on the computer. So I could live without an actual journal because I journal in my head. So that's why I chose meditation.
Can I just say, I love how you said, till I'm ready to compose. You know, I write it in my head until I'm ready to. That's right, compose. To
compose it on paper, yeah.
Composing. Next time you call me, that's what I'm gonna say. Hey, what you doing? I'm composing.
Composing.
What else do you do? That's right.
Exactly.
Composure. Okay, one more, last one.
Okay.
In honor of the most recent verses that happened, Could you live without Escape or SWV?
SWV, because Escape was my group.
Ooh, what
Escape was my
I
group.
want from you.
Yeah. It's
Did you watch it? Did you get a chance? Did you get a chance to watch the first?
understanding.
Let me
I
find
didn't.
it. Of course.
I didn't. I didn't get to watch it, but listen, I still have Escape's old CD.
Traces of my lipstick.
Ugh, yes. So I know that that's bad, but I still
No,
play it
that's
in the car. I still play it in the car. So yeah, it's in my rotation. Even my husband sometimes is like, your rotation is so old. I'm like, I know, I'm just old school.
I love it. What you say? Oh, Raquan said girlfriend's gotta go. He agreed. And he's a meditation guy. I mean, he's a journaling guy. I don't believe that, Raquan. Stop it. No, you don't. You ain't even like to write when we was in high school. Now cut it out. And then,
He's evolved.
okay, he's evolved. That's
He's
fine. I
evolved.
evolved. He can evolve. That's true.
He's evolved.
That's true. Well, thank you so much for playing Could You Live Without with us.
Absolutely.
So
Thank you.
excited. I'm going to turn it over to Elle for our first question for you.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, my junior intern is over here running the show.
Right.
They're learning. I'm not mad at them. That's what they're
Right. You see her
supposed to
come
be
in
doing.
smiling though. She was like,
Listen, she is, okay. All right. So the first question that I have for you is, what are 3 tips women should keep in mind when trying to balance mom and being a professional?
Okay, so the first tip is that you can only do you the way that you do you. Okay. I think a lot of times women look at other women and they try to do it like they do it. And I
Mhm.
always say, do you the way that you do you, because we can only be ourselves. So find the balance that works for you and utilize that space. I think the other thing is when you need a break, take it, take it. Don't be afraid to be able to say, I need to step back for a moment, whether that moment is a day, an hour, 2 days, even if you need a week off. And I know some people are like, entrepreneur, a week off. But if you're running your business right, you can take that week off. You can do what it is that you need to do and really not miss a beat. And I think that the other thing is that even though you're doing 3 jobs or running 3 businesses, we're still only one person. And we have to keep that in mind, that we're one person and that one person has to take care of themselves. So those are my 3 tips: is do you take a break and take care of yourself, and even though you're doing 3 things, you're still one person. Be okay with that, for
Wow.
sure.
Let me tell you that you just talked to my whole life. Oh my goodness, that was great. That was
I knew you
amazing.
were going to
Yeah,
say that. And
Great
Elle, I knew
part.
you were going to
Yeah.
say that. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
because when
Keep
I'm
it.
talking to you, I'm talking to me, so I have to say that out loud.
What you say? It makes it accountable when you put it
It
out.
makes it accountable, absolutely. And it's a reminder, it's a positive reinforcer, that these are the things that you have to do to stay on top of your game. But staying on top of your game, first and foremost, is taking care of yourself.
Yeah, I really like that. I got to lift those up again. For those of you who are just tuning in, it's your ladies of Coco Life Black on a Coco Connect with Eletta Cameron. We are talking about balancing being a mom boss, right? We use that term so much, and it absolutely resonates. And sometimes it's lifted up so much that people
Mhm.
don't do these 3 things. So Eletta just got finished giving us 3 tips to balancing, right? You can only do you the way you do you. So don't try to be anybody else, okay? Even if you're operating in the same discipline as someone or the same industry as someone.
Absolutely.
Eletta's her, Elle is her, I'm me, and you're you. And the only way we do well is to be our best selves. It reminds me of that book, Strength Finder. I love that book. I always talk about it because it does, and I think it could be taken to another level, even or a deeper level. But I appreciate how it talks about focusing on the strengths of people.
Mhm.
Hey,
Mhm.
right. Hey, junior intern. Hey, girl. You listen to this too because we already know you're going to be doing all the jobs. So and so that's one reason why I think it's important that we do these 3 things, because we do have little people watching us, whether
Mhm.
we have daughters, sons, communities of young girls.
Absolutely.
who are watching us today.
Absolutely.
So the second point was self-care. Self-care is not selfish. So
That's it.
just pausing there for a minute. What sort of self-care practices do you have?
Well, I definitely do meditate. I do write because it's something that's not been taken away from me, and what could I live without? I sometimes I just go and chill, like just being able sometimes to lay across my bed and relax. I listen to music. I love listening to like classical music or jazz. Um, a shower is one of my favorite things to do. I will be in the shower forever in the day, and I love soap. That's why I chose soap. But like I buy so much soap that sometimes, even my kids are like, Mom, like, do you need more soap? That is my personal addiction. Yes, I love soap. I love all types of smells of soap, but I just like to lather up, and that like lathering up, getting all like lathered and then getting under the shower and just letting it just come off of you. That's like cleaning the day away. I
Ooh,
love that.
yes.
I love that. Yeah. So those are the things that I do. And just being able to talk to people, like even though that's my career, I enjoy talking to different people and just meeting people, just asking them like, how are you doing? How's your day going? To me, that's exciting for sure.
I love that. And we do
Hmm.
self care Saturdays here on Coco Life Black every Saturday around 10 a.m. on Instagram Live. We jump
Hmm.
on and we invite people on to talk. So one morning, if you're up, please feel free. Well, I know you'll be up, but one morning,
Hmm.
if you're available, feel
Okay.
free to jump on with us. But these are the types of things that we like to share because I found out last year through COVID that I did not have self care practices. I
Wow.
thought my self care practices, people are like, oh, what do you like to do to relax and have fun? I like to help people with their businesses. And they're like,
That's not self care.
that's that's work. Like, what are you talking about? But I had convinced myself. So here I am at that point, 36 going on 37 years old. Oh, no, I wasn't. 37 going on 38. Here we go live. And what I had told myself was that I didn't, my self care was predicated on somebody else
Hmm.
and not really. I mean, it's in the name, so I should have known, but I didn't realize. So I thank you for sharing those.
Hmm.
Elle, I'm gonna put you on the spot. What about you? Do you have any one particular like self-care activity that you like really like, even if it's something new, like what? And then I'll answer too. But what you
Ah, well, actually, I don't like, to be
see?
honest, and that's the thing. Like, I should, right? But I absolutely do not, and so that is something that I'm working on, trying to figure out, like, what is my self care. I think one thing I've developed was like leaving myself space. It's not technically self care, but like having Blue have a bedtime. So when she go to bed at 9, I mean I get them next few hours to myself to do nothing, and so myself a designated time to have my own like
Mm.
to be myself.
Hmm.
So if I had to choose anything, I guess that is self care ish.
I like that.
Yeah, you just build it up, build it out. Yep,
I
for
like
sure.
that. I like that honestly. And I think mine is new again last year. Meditation.
Okay.
So I use this black owned meditation. Well, I started out using Soul Time, which was a faith Christian based
Hmm.
meditation app. Then I moved to the Shine app, which is a black owned meditation app.
Hmm.
And let me tell you, it was something about like honestly, you should be on there because your voice is very soothing too. But
Thank
or
you.
go make something like that. But it was something about hearing. Follow me on this. It was something about hearing me in my head as I was listening to this sister like in my ear, because I like the guided meditations.
Hmm.
It was so amazing. And I was the one who was like, oh, I can't meditate because, I'm a Christian and God and da da da. And I was looping it up with all this stuff that it's not. And then I read in the Bible over and over and over and over again in Ephesians and Genesis and everywhere where it talks about meditating. And I was like, huh, okay.
Hmm.
All right. And so that has been like the best part of my morning. So I go to bed at a reasonable time so that I can get up and meditate. And I take like
Hmm.
the first hour, I don't touch, other than putting on the meditation app, I don't touch my phone to do anything other than like send a prayer maybe after I've meditated. So
Hmm.
that's my self care practice right now.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
because meditation is like prayer. You know, you
yeah,
can meditate on anything. So absolutely.
I appreciate that. Okay, so I do have another question for you. This mom boss has become such a buzz. They become buzzwords, right?
Mhm.
Is there anything about it though, especially in your profession, that kind of concerns you with us being so hyper vigilant to acquire and command and demand and charge, in this arena? So when we talk about the balance, is there anything just from a professional
Mhm.
perspective that kind of you like, ladies, I get it, but just
No, like so here's what I think. First of all, I love the fact that mom comes first because it really puts the reminder of what one of our many roles is, and our most important role is raising our children to be, contributors to the community. So I love that fact. I love the fact that mom is first, and then, boss comes. And I think that, boss is such a big, it can encompass a lot of different things. But what I look at when I look at bosses, I look at like being in control of myself. It's not necessarily being in control of other people or other things. It's when I'm in control of myself, then I'm in control. And all of those other things are kind of, I'm just, I'm managing them. And when they might get a little bit crazy, I'm well enough in control of myself to figure out how to pull that in a way that isn't overly demanding, isn't taking me out of who I am as a person, isn't taking me out of my character, and is allowing me to be authentic to myself. So that's what I love about, being mom boss. I think it's how we define what a boss role is. And I really think being boss is being in control of yourself first and foremost. And then you help to manage those other tasks that come, around.
I really really appreciate that. I mean,
Mhm.
especially as far as because oftentimes we define boss by, who's reporting to you or who
Mhm.
you're in control of, so to speak.
Mhm.
And like you said, really, truly, it is being able to control. It reminds me a lot of like emotional intelligence. It
Mhm.
being in control of yourself,
For
so being
sure.
able to manage yourself will allow you to really excel in those other areas that you. So thank you, because I've heard mixed reviews about the whole term mom boss. I love
Mhm.
it,
Mhm.
for multiple reasons.
Mhm.
But I do think it, to your point, especially with the mom part, being a mom was so far removed from us for so long. It was like,
Mhm.
you're a mom, like it wasn't a
Yeah.
thing.
Mhm.
It wasn't a
Right.
part of who you are. It's like, but it is, and it is work. Okay,
It, if you've never worked a job in your
hardest
life,
job I've ever
that is
done.
a job.
I,
Absolutely.
ha,
Absolutely and for sure. Yes.
ha,
Yes.
Wow.
wow. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for that. I think just one more thing that just wanted to kind of open up as it relates to your own experience.
Mhm.
If you could share again, wife, mom of two, um, business owner, professional, pursuing different designations, education, and all of that. Like, how?
How?
How do you like keep it all
Balance.
together? How do you balance?
So I have to say that I have a wonderful dad boss. I have a wonderful husband who is extremely supportive. Um, and really tells me to go for it. Like he is my biggest cheerleader. Then my children are my cheerleaders. I waited for a really long time to decide to kind of branch out there. And I kind of dibbed and dabbed. But it was really, really once my kids got of a certain age where I knew that they didn't depend on me like for breastfeeding, for things like that. I breastfed one child for 18 months and another for 16 months. And I really wanted to have that time, with them. But when they got to school, all day school, that was when I really started putting my plan into motion. And so it really worked out because now they're of an age where I can say to them, hey, I have clients tonight. And they're like, okay, mom. But I can also hear them, or when my husband might say, hey, we haven't gone out on a date in a couple weeks. We need to do something. You're in that room until 8 o'clock. I get the middle conversation that, he's letting me know, like, I miss you, or, my kids might say something. So they're letting me know that they miss me. So I have to also be in tune enough in tune enough as a mom boss to be able to say, okay, I know when it's time to put certain things down for a moment and spend that extra quality time. Not that I'm not spending quality time, but really spending that extra quality time. And I think that that's important. Being a woman, and being a woman entrepreneur, as you all know, it's challenging because, it's expected that men go out there and they're the breadwinners. And so society says it's okay if men are gone for 12 hours a day, 15 hours, they're out there winning, taking care of home, which I appreciate those men who do that. But there are women like us who spend a lot of time as well. And we can't be made to feel guilty about that, but we also have to figure out how to balance that, because we are the other half that holds things together for those who are in partnerships. But then if we're single moms, then we're holding it together, right? So we have to figure out how to be able to do that. I just, I've been blessed to have, a dad boss and great kids, and surrounded by good people. Even with this platform, just surrounded by people who are like-minded and similar-minded and similar thinking, and encouraging, and that pray for me and with me. That is extremely helpful, for sure.
I
Wow.
love that you
And
mentioned that whole like work-life balance part, right? Because a lot
Hmm.
of times we can be, especially as entrepreneurs, right? Our business is our baby, right? So yeah,
Hmm.
we're physical children, but like our business is our baby, and a lot of times we give it so much like dedication and extra time, and that nerve, and it needs all of those things, but we have to remember that we have family as well that rely
Hmm.
us and that needs our time the same way that our business needs our time. So just bringing
Hmm.
up that whole work-life balance, because listen, I know it's hard. It is very hard to, kind of find what that balance is. But like you said, like you have to, like once you find that balance, you're kind of smooth sailing and understanding that, like, you're not going to be the same as someone else, and the way that you manage your business is not the same. And so I appreciate the fact that you really hone in on that, like making sure you take care of yourself as well as your family and those who are around you while you're taking care of your business. Like that's super, super
Absolutely. For sure. And I think too, just remember that work-life balance also, it's iterative. It's always evolving, so it's depending on what you have going on, that you have to continuously strike a balance. And sometimes that balance works for, 6 months, and then something happens where you have to reposition so you can get your balance again. So it's okay to have to recalibrate, every now and then. That's what balancing is. Even in yoga, one of the things you learn about being centered is, if your body tires, that you can put your foot down out of the tree pose and, realign and get back in the tree pose. You know what I mean? So those are just important things to remember. So I do use a lot of, even with yoga and practicing yoga, I use that in what I do in my everyday life.
wow. I thank you so much, Eletta. It's been such an
Thank
amazing
you.
conversation, and we absolutely have got to have you back on,
I
because
would
the
love
other
to.
two, T and Anika, and everybody else, need to be able to benefit. We'll find it. I'm sure there's many topics that you can cover for us, but I think one of the things that we owe to ourselves as a community of women, and this is whether you're a mom or not,
Mhm.
and momming like how we say, in all the different ways that you mom, as a God mom, as a
Absolutely.
community mom, church mom, whatever the ways you mom, we owe it to ourselves to provide a space where we can learn, where we can leverage, and we can lift.
Yes,
So,
I
like,
love
we
that.
need to be able to learn, leverage, and lift each other. And that's the only way we'll do it, is being able to be around like minded people, and also being able to be supported by someone like yourself.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who's tuning
Thank you,
in
Lexi.
live,
Thank you, Elle.
and everybody who's watching the playback. So, Eletta, where can people follow you to keep up with all the many things that you're doing? the magazine articles, the appearances on radio shows and TV. I mean, like all the stuff that has happened and will continue to happen. Where can people keep up with you?
You can definitely follow me on IG. It's at Eletta Cameron. I'm on IG. Everything. If you type in Eletta Cameron, it's all branded for me. So it's just easy. I was under so many things before, but you can definitely find me under Eletta Cameron on Facebook. Eletta Cameron. DM me. You can call me. Phone numbers on IG. So feel free for sure.
Yes, yes, yes. We are so excited again. So grateful. One oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I do have one last thing. So
Okay.
Saturday, May 22nd, as we said at the top of the show, is International Coco Mom Day, right? So it is the first year, inaugural year, that we are going to be celebrating this amazing occasion. And so you can even Google it, like it's on Google and everything.
Mhm.
So we want to know, and we know, this is something new, but how will you spend International Coco Mom Day?
I have a scheduled massage,
Oh,
full body.
Part.
It is already on my calendar. Yes, yes.
see, you
It'll be me and my husband. So yes, we have
do.
a couples massage scheduled. Yes, yes. That is how I will
Awesome.
be spending that. We'll go out to get something to eat. Yes.
You was hyped about that massage. You was like,
I was so ready to tell you, like, I got it already. I got it. As soon as I seen it, I was like, I already know what I'm doing. So
oh my gosh, that is so awesome. Well, we are so
yes.
excited. For those of you who are tuning in, if you want to register for International Coco Mom Day, and let me tell you, just like Eletta just said, you can do it your way. We want you to register how you are going to do it your way. I don't care if that's Netflix and chill, you can do it. But you can go to cocolife.black/events to register how you're going to celebrate. The reason why we like the registry is because we just get a chance to, one, meet you, celebrate how you're celebrating, lift it up, and then draw some attention to it. This is our day designed for us as Coco moms. Yes, we have Mother's Day. We're not taking away from anything. However, we do know that we want to be very intentional in our community. The statistics, the numbers, the disparities, everything that is wrong usually is higher in our community. Anything as it relates to maternal health and wellness, usually those statistics are a lot higher. Social injustices, I mean, you name it. And so we owe it to ourselves, again, to lift, learn, and leverage. So that's what we're doing. Again, you can follow us everywhere, just like Eletta said, to make it simple. So for all of you who are trying to figure stuff out, that's a brand 101. CocoLife.black everywhere. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and the website. That's the easiest way. That way people not like, wait, what are you, Sweet Honey 25 on? And then you thank you all so much for tuning in to another episode of our Coco Connect. Have a great night. See you guys.
Bye.